What's going on everybody, I'm Riku and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'll be covering all the information that was presented to us in the Ina-Dai a couple days ago. The stream was a whole hour where we constantly got information fed to us, so to break it down for you guys I've catalogued the information into different chapters which you can find in the description below. I'll be going over gameplay features in which you can find out what was removed, enhanced, or brand new for the final launch of the game. I'll be going over digital deluxe edition changes as well as platform specifications. I'll also cover the collaborations that will be present for Victory Road. And lastly, a few bits of information regarding the story, and bits of details regarding the overall game, as well as a few bits of information that Hino has given us. Before we jump in, I'd like to thank Darts Enthusiast as well as Inazuma Frontier on Twitter for making the information much more accessible. To start off, Hino mentions that they've made a significant improvement since the beta test demo, and have made various improvements based off of the data from the people who've played the demo. The game is now slower, and this is mainly because he felt that there were players who couldn't keep up with how fast the offense and defense was switching up. In order to make this more apparent, they've added weight, so that players can see that they've either lost or gained possession of the ball. They've also applied this to the scramble battles, which are now slower in order to reduce potential dizziness because of the constant camera switching that would take place. Through passes have now been simplified. In the demo they had a dedicated button for this, and only advanced players use them. Now there is only one button for passes, and the game will automatically adjust the type of pass as you can see on screen. The biggest change to the gameplay is the LR auto system. Hino mentions that in the past Inazuma games you only had two options, which was either to go left or to go right. In Victory Road the player will be able to choose either the L or R button on their controller, and the player will go to that direction. Hino also mentions that the AI inbuilt to this mechanic will adjust its movements in accordance to the enemy's movements. He also points out that this is a very useful mechanic that could get you through the majority of content in the game, but it may be a different scenario when you're playing versus another player. He's also mentioned that you can deceive your opponents by walking to the right, pressing L to catch your opponents off guard and win the duel. Next is a system called Catch Bomb, which is a system introduced to eliminate the frustration of having to chase an opponent with the ball whilst defending. This creates a field around your defender, and once it catches the opponent with the ball, you'll initiate a focus battle. We now have the addition of the Sweet Spot system, and its purpose is to reduce the downtime during special move shots. Okay, so this is editing Riku. Just to clarify on this, sweet spots are supposed to be something that you use in between moves. So basically it's when you're charging up the tension of your moves. That's basically what it's used for. It is possible to aim for an ideal point, which is indicated with a target marker, to obtain an attack bonus. These shots do not consume any tension. Additionally, we have a stealth attack, which is a 2-second counter that you can see next to the shoot button. Shoot before this timer runs out and you'll have an attack bonus added to your power. This also combines and stacks with the Sweet Spot for an even greater attack bonus. You'll be able to practice these features in tutorial practices that can be found both in the main story with Juno's technology at play, as well as Chronicle mode, which concludes with a match against the young Inazuma. The Commander Manager AI mode has also been given a change. With the gameplay itself changing, the old system which allowed instructions to be given directly to the players has now been completely removed. Instead, the command mode is now 100% automatic, which is useful for dropping items or taking pictures in the match. I called this already, but the freestyle camera and the touchscreen features have been entirely removed from the game, mainly because this caused an unfair advantage for those playing on other consoles. Instead, they've updated the mouse mode drastically, and you'll be able to use this on PC and Nintendo Switch at launch, with a PS5 update scheduled to release later. There is currently no mention for Xbox, so once I know this information, I'll make sure to let you know. Enhancing your players has also been made easier. They've now redesigned the menus, and now training beans are used automatically. It is also now possible to automatically equip each player with their best equipment, assuming you have the specific item. However, you'll also be able to change these to better suit them to your playstyle. You can give any player any special move or power up, and you can also change which position you want each player to be by changing the tracks of the Abbey-Learn board, which will allow you to have goalkeepers play as forwards with the stats and moves of a forward. Hino has confirmed that there are over 5,400 playable characters in the game, and he assures that players will find a challenge in collecting each and every single one of them. However, there is more information that I would like to go over later on in the video. Competition mode now has this thing called the BB Stadium. For those who don't want to use their own teams, this mode offers predefined teams the opportunity to make unlikely teams interact. This will be available in both solo as well as multiplayer online. We also have a 2-player mode. There will be 2v2 matches. Teammates alternate between controlling players and placing booster zones, depending on whether the team is attacking or defending. A full 2v2 mode where each player controls one player is also in development for a future update. The Digital Deluxe Edition bonuses have changed. In order to accommodate for the Abbey-Learn board, they've decided to increase the 5 beans we would get to 30 beans of each type. Additionally, they've upped the reward from receiving Fae to a selection of 8 characters, being Nathan Swift, Kevin Dragonfly, Sean Frost, Xavier Foster, Caleb Stonewall, Gabriel Garcia, Faye Rune, and my personal favourite, Goldie Lemon. At the time of writing, recording, and editing this video, we do not have the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders up. I will update you once this becomes available. We were given a breakdown of the performance of Inazuma 11 Victory Road on each platform. Both on PS5 and Nintendo Switch 2, on dock mode, the game will run at 4K 60 FPS, and can even reach up to 120 FPS on the PS5 Pro, as well as powerful PCs. On the Switch, the game will run at 1080p 30 FPS on docked, and on PS4 it'll run at 1080p 60 FPS. The Xbox Series S will run at 1440p at 60 FPS, and the Series X will run at 4K 120 FPS. We also have confirmation of ultra-wide screen support, which is 21:9 on PC. The game will count with a number of collaborations. Hinano Iwasaki, who sings the ending theme for Inazuma 11 Victory Road, will also lend her voice to the character Yasmin Toisend. Yasmin is the younger sister of Lilac Toisend, who is the student council president of Nagamohara and the manager of West Manor Academy. In the third trailer, we were able to see the managers of Occult and Wild, who were imagined by fans as part of a contest for Inazuma 11 ST, which now makes them a part of the big list of characters created by fans that have made it into the game. Hino mentions that in Chronicle mode, players will be able to play every single season as well as every single movie from the series. However, at launch, the Danball Senki film, which is after Inazuma 11 Go Chrono Stones, will not be playable, mainly because they are still in talks with, having the rights of the film be able to appear within the game. So until further notice, that is currently out of the game, but there are characters such as Flora or Fran, whatever you want to call her, as well as Hiro Hughes and Vanya Mano, who have been seen in Inazoogle. And for those of you who don't know, I have a whole video on Inazoogle. It's an official website that players are just able to check anything. It's like a huge database of everything that's going to be in Victory Road, which I recommend you check out. We currently do not know if Hidetoshi Nakata will be a part of the game, since he counts as a collab character, since he's based off of the real Hidetoshi Nakata. We don't know if the Orpheus match will be rewritten at the time of recording this video. This is something that I will update on once the game does come out. The biggest collaboration that Victory Road has is with Tenya Yabuno. And you might be thinking, why? Inazuma 11 Victory Road will be getting its own official manga starting in November. It'll follow the story of the game, with 5 characters that Tenya Yabuno has chosen to lead his story, alongside the main 6 players of South Cirrus. For the story mode, I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but it is shaping up to be quite a strong and beautifully written story, with amazing characters just showing up left, right, and center. Hey, so this is Editing Riku. I've shown up a few times in this video. Some of them I've mentioned, the other ones I haven't. Oh well. So I've completely forgotten to mention that there are 2 new fighting spirits as well as a brand new Mixie-Max in the story mode. The 2 new fighting spirits look amazing, and the only reason why I've forgotten to mention them is because I don't have the English names. I don't know what else to say. I completely forgot about them. So yeah, those 2 mechanics are going to be in the story somehow. We don't know how, we don't know why, but they look amazing. I'm very happy that they are back. And yeah, once we have more information, I'll let you know. If not, you'll see them when you play it in the story. Anyways, I'll leave you with the rest of the video. Hino does recommend players to play and finish the story mode first, and then play Chronicle mode. Mainly because until you beat the story, you will not be able to use your team of players from the story mode in Chronicle mode. Additionally, you'll be able to use your customizable character in every single game mode. The avatar you can create has a very in-depth customization. Hino says that you're able to create virtually anything from yourself, an OC, a VTuber, or even your favorite anime character. So it's really insane that you're just able to use this in any game mode that you want. Hino recommends, for the final fight, to have 1.5 hours available in order to be able to fully experience it. And my personal recommendation, have a lot of tissues and the water ready, because you will get emotional. Anyways, once you finish the story, you will unlock 2 new features. One of them is a New Game Plus, which you're able to play the game with your same level team that you finished the story, so, just your standard New Game Plus. The second one is an Expand story, and we currently do not know anything about this. It could be post-game material, it could be DLC, updates that they add later on, but we honestly have no idea what it could be. What do you think this is going to be? Leave it down below, I want to read your opinions. Thanks to this, I can expand on something that I said earlier. We can collect every single player. However, there will be variations of players, which you can store in a player bank. Hino mentions that this player bank is something that players will be able to bring into a sequel of the game if they ever make one. So buckle up, we could potentially get a sequel for Inazuma 11 Victory Road down the line. Hino also mentions that despite Chronicle mode seeming like a copy-paste from the anime, he urges players to feel immersed with the experience of the story. As they've reworked multiple OSTs from the anime, it's an experience that old and new players will enjoy alike. Lastly, Hino mentions that the game will last on average 80 to 100 hours depending on the player. But if you decide to collect and train every single player, the game offers an endless amounts of possibilities, replayability, as well as gameplay time. Anyways, that was a lot to cover, so if you enjoyed the video, if you've seen this far, leave a like, subscribe, I really appreciate it. We are so close to Inazuma 11 Victory Road, I cannot wait to bring this amazing game to all of you. You all deserve it, you're all an amazing community. We have done so much for this game, it's the final stretch, and I just can't believe that we're already here. So yeah, I'm so excited for this game, and if I keep talking about it, I'm gonna gush, and there's gonna be like 5 hours worth of video where it's just me yapping, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Thank you once again for watching, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of your days. I will see you all in the next video. I was Riku, and all I gotta say is, adios.